Hello, my dear viewers and all my dear students. This is Deepak Jain here, and today I am here in conversation with Isha and all my dear students. So, in this conversation, I am going to ask you certain questions, and I hope you all of you are absolutely ready to answer my questions. Are you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's nice. So, my first question is to Miss Isha Agarwal from RLPKD, right? So my first question to you is that what do you think, is India a developing country or a developed country? What's your opinion about it? Please let me know your opinion.
I think India is
And could you
a
be loud please and be as loud as possible, right?
okay. I think India is a developing country because it is not developed yet fully. We have many things in which we are not in present.
Hmm.
If we take the example of many countries like China and America, so they have been developed, but our country is now developing.
Okay, so my question is that on what basis can you say that India is a developing country, not a developed country? Because nowadays you must know who is the Prime Minister. Our Honorable Prime Minister is Mr. Narendra Modi, right? So, I mean, even after his regiment, how can you say that India is not a developed country? Why is it still a developing country, not the developed country? Why do you think so?
In our country, there are lack of many things. If I told you, then education is not there properly yet.
Hmm.
People got education, but that education is not practical. It is only theoretical.
Hmm.
So I don't think in this way we are developing.
Hmm.
And many things are there by which we cannot say that our country has been developed. It is still developing.
So now I need to know. I mean that in the regiment of our honorable prime minister. So why has the education system not been developed? Because doesn't the prime minister know that education is very important in the child's life and it plays a vital role in the career of a child, and education is the foundation of a person's career. Still, why has it not been taken care? Why do you think so that it has not been taken care? Where are we falling short? I mean, doesn't the PM know that? And I know that our Prime Minister is very much sensible, right, for the development of the country. So, if education, which is the foundation of a person's career, will not be taken care, then how will the country develop? Is it possible for the country to be developed without a proper or precise education system? What do you think?
Nowadays, a new education policy has come, so I think it will regulate on our country after
Hmm.
1 or 2 years. So I think it will be good for our country.
So could you please let us know about that new policy, or what would be the advantages of this policy, and how do you think that it will benefit the country?
In this policy, first thing is that you will have to do practical of any particular thing. Yet now, if you have any subject, but you will have a chance to do the practical. Second thing is that when you will enter in your 11th class, so now we have choices of taking three streams: arts, science, and the commerce stream. But after the NEP will be there, National Education Policy. So the government has said this that you can choose any subject from any stream.
Okay.
So it can develop you almost the practical knowledge will be there, and also if
So
you
why was it not applied yet? And why is it taking too much of time? If something is going to benefit you, then why is that something taking hell lot of time? What the hell the reason is behind that?
I think there is a lack of just finishing that particular thing means
So that the
they
lack of execution.
yes.
So why is the policy not being executed?
Because we are such a large country, so it will take time to regulate here in 1 or 2 years. I think so.
Okay, so we have such a large population, right? Or this country is geographically also large. You mean to say that, right? So I mean, why is this obstructing? If even if let's say high population is there, so what is obstructing?
The
How can you
policy.
say? Isn't it an excuse?
No, I think policy has been made,
Hmm.
but now to regulate it, we have to firstly. Many people still not know that what is the NEP, National Education Policy. So firstly, we have to let the people know about this policy, and after that we can apply this policy.
Okay, fine. So, Isha, my next question to you is that, I mean, you know that nowadays that you know that women are lagging behind in the country, and women had been lagging behind for, you know, we can say since ages, right? Because they didn't invent anything almost, right? And they did not develop, and they were not able to make their career. Although nowadays women are coming advanced and they are going to develop their career, but in the past it, I mean, they had been lagging behind for many years, right? Or you can say since ages. Did you get that? And even in America, in the developed country like America, women didn't have right to vote at the time of, you know, 1980 almost. Okay. And you know, in India, that was the condition that infanticide or feticide used to take place when people got to know that the baby is the female baby, right? When people knew there is a female baby, then they used to go through that infanticide or feticide. They used to commit, right? And now, even nowadays, that women want emancipation in their life. So I want your opinion that too much of emancipation or any kind of emancipation for women is good, is appropriate, or bad. What do you personally think about it? Please let us know.
I think if women will have a emancipation totally, then it will be good for them. Not over limit, but if we give them emancipation in a
But
limit,
here I need to know, what do you mean by limit or the over limit? I mean, when would you consider it appropriate? In what case?
means in many cases women just want to get them independence,
Okay.
but that can not take place.
How can it not take place? What the hell the reason is behind it? Could you please let us know?
Um, in our country, the mentality of the people is
Hmm.
that if we just spread, if we
Hmm.
just leave the women of the house, then it will not be good. So
Hmm.
this can be the reason, and but I want to say that women should get emancipation, because as we know that now our president is a
Hmm.
woman.
Okay.
This is Draupadi Murmu,
Hmm.
and our many ministers, our
Hmm.
financial minister is also a woman.
So, but just you said that women should get emancipation. But if women don't get emancipation, then how will they be able to become president or the PM like that? How will it be possible?
If you check the history, then I think there
Hmm.
many revolutions take place.
Took place.
Yes, and most of the time women had to do revolution to
Hmm.
get emancipation.
Okay. Do you know that in the past that women didn't have right to get education also? It was just because of Bhimrao Ambedkar, because he wrote it in the constitution and gave right to women. And I mean, that lady was there. Her name was like that Savitri Bai, right? What was the complete name? Do you know?
Savitribai Phule.
Right? She was the first lady to educate women. So this was the condition in the country. So what would you say? I mean, at that time, were the people right because they didn't send the women out to get education, or are the people right now?
No, I don't think that was right, because women also should get the emancipation.
Hmm.
And in the past years, people don't have the enough knowledge.
People.
They don't have the enough knowledge, and they also don't think. They also didn't think about this.
Okay. So
But
now,
now we can.
now,
We
now
can.
I want to know. I mean, the now what the best is happening, or I mean, whatever is happening nowadays, is it appropriate? Is the country going in the right direction, or is the overhauling required, or are there still loopholes in terms of the development of the women in the country? And if you know any kind of a loophole or the area or the scope of development, then please focus on that or throw light on that, because we are curious to know that. Please.
I think women are still developing, and they have not developed completely. Because it is good for women to be developed, because we can see that nowadays in every sector women are there.
Okay.
And they are also so good in every sector in comparison to the man. But in many places women have still no emancipation. If you go in a village, then still now they have no proper emancipation in their
Okay.
house. They are just living that on their old customs.
Okay, that in the past, you know that many inventions took place, right? They were done by men, but hardly any invention was done by a woman. Okay, first that radium was there, that was done by Madame Curie, right? And apart from that, hardly inventions were done by women. So could you please let us know that what the hell was the reason behind that? I mean, how, why could they not invent anything in the past? What was the reason behind that?
The reason is that they didn't get an emancipation. They didn't get the right to
So do you
study.
think if they had got emancipation, they would have invented anything in the past?
Yes.
Were they able to do so?
Yes, they
and
can
and
do.
if yes, then nowadays women are getting emancipation, and if it is true, then why aren't they inventing anything nowadays? Have they invented anything recently nowadays?
I think many women have coming now to invent many things.
Okay,
I don't remember their name, but
okay,
there are women now.
fine. My question to you is that, I mean, another question I have, I want to know, are you a theist or atheist?
Uh, I think I am a theist.
You're a theist, right?
Yes.
So I really want to know that what makes you a theist. I mean, what the hell? I mean, what is the reason behind that?
Because I believe in God.
Okay, so what makes you believe in God? Because the reason behind this question is that right now I'm going to just play the role of an atheist. Okay, let's say, because there are many people in the country who are just atheist, right? And there is always a debate between an atheist and a theist, right? So just I'm going to play the role of an atheist right now. So being a theist, you have to just prove then on what basis do you believe in God. And let me also tell you, when the person says that I'm a theist, it means he just believes in the God, but in a particular God. So then I can arise, or a question arises, or I can raise a question that in which God do you believe? And if you just follow the monotheism, let's say you just follow one God, then I would be asking why not the other God, right? And if you believe in God, then in which God do you believe? I mean, do you believe in monotheism, or do you just worship all the gods? Please let me know about that.
Although I worship all the gods, but mostly I believe in Lord Krishna.
Okay, just you said you believe in all, you worship all the gods. So do you also offer namaz and do you worship Allah?
No.
Or do you pray? No. Then why not? And if you don't offer namaz, right, and do you also worship Jesus Christ?
No.
You don't, right? Then how can you call yourself like a theist? Because let's say if you see from the perspective of the Christians, then you would be called as an atheist.
Because that is not in my religion.
That's not in your religion, right?
Yes.
So I mean, is it necessary that, I mean, are you not the follower of the follower? Because you just said it is not in my religion. Your religion means the religion of your forefathers, right? So you have been following what your forefathers followed. So when your forefathers followed anything, are they always right? Whatever they do, is it always appropriate?
No, it can be appropriate. It cannot be definitely appropriate, but it can be appropriate in several ways.
Several ways, right? Okay, so you whatever the god you worship, I need to know on what basis can you say that they were the god. I mean, because if you talk about goodness, if you talk about virtues, so many good people took birth on the earth, right? So if you just talk, if you just consider them god on the basis of goodness, virtues, then I would, I'm sorry to say, but I would disagree, right? Because many people were there on the earth who were virtuous, right? So on what basis do you consider anybody a god? What is the definition of god? I want to know from you, and I would be more than happy if you just prove it, and if you just make me believe, I would be more than happy, because right now I'm just going to play the role of an atheist, right? So let me know, how can a theist prove?
I think it is not necessary that God is there, but we can consider a person to be God.
So
because yet now.
Okay. So would you be ready to worship anybody, just even if a normal person is there, just because the person is good? Let's say I'm a person. Am I bad?
No, there should be certain qualities in one person.
Okay. So what are those qualities? I want you to please come to the point.
You should have power, that type of knowledge.
Okay.
You should be virtuous.
Okay.
And also you should have you should be knowledgeable. And
Okay,
means
so
you.
this is the definition of God, right? So you
Yes.
have told me certain points. Are these points enough? Person has to be virtuous, person should be knowledgeable. You know, knowledgeable means what? Omniscient. Not only knowledgeable. Bhimrao Ambedkar, Mr. Bhimrao Ambedkar was also knowledgeable. When Swami Vivekananda was also knowledgeable. So why don't you worship him? Would you be ready to worship him? If not,
No,
then why?
God has not only that much qualities here.
So what are the other qualities, please? Let
I,
us know.
I think they had many qualities. Just I told you that virtuous.
Yeah.
They are virtuous. They should be virtuous, and they should have power. And that type of omni.
What kind of power do you mean? I mean, what do you mean by power? Let's say our wrestlers are there. They also have power, right? And so many warriors had been there in the past. So they also had a great power. But Maharana Pratap and Shivaji, Maharana Pratap also had powers, right? They were very strong. And you can say Tipu Sultan was there, and all the warriors. Do you remember Bhim also had power? He used to throw people in the space. He had that much of power, right? So, would you be ready to worship Bhim if you talk about power? And
No,
Bhim was virtuous too.
I think they have that type of spiritual power.
Okay, spiritual power. What do you mean by that spiritual power? Please let us know.
Uh, Means you can say that. I think spiritual power is that power. Firstly, you should be powerful, and along with that, the power you are using for a good work.
Okay, the power you are using for a good work.
Just like many people were there, if we see the Mahabharata.
So you want to set an example of Mahabharata.
Yes.
To justify the existence of God, right? So yes, please let me know, because I'll be more than happy to know that.
Not in Mahabharata, in Ramayana. If I take the example of Ramayana.
Okay, now you want to come to Ramayana.
Yes.
Yes, please.
In Ramayana, there was the King Ravana.
Right.
And according to that particular holy book, it is said that Ravana has the power.
Ravan
had the power.
Right.
That he will not die.
Okay.
Only God.
Because he had nectar in his navel.
Yes.
Right.
And he has got that much spiritual power.
Okay. Because he took boons from God.
Yes.
And after taking boons from the God, he wanted to murder God.
No, he don't want to murder God.
He wanted to murder because he wanted to murder Ram.
No.
He wanted to kill in the war. Did he not want to?
No.
How can you say that?
As I have read in many places that Ravan he was just a simple person, and he was just a spiritual and a knowledgeable person, and he had the boon that he will not die.
Yes.
Only God can
kill him.
Yes.
Okay.
So after that, Lord Rama killed him, and the thing is that he himself wanted to let him die.
Okay, so he wanted to be killed.
Yes.
By
because
Lord.
he was living from so many years.
Okay. So he had been living for so many years,
Yes.
right? Then if he wanted to kill himself, right? Or he wanted to be killed by Lord Ram, then why, several times he wanted the boon of being immortal. Do you know? It means, let's say he took nectar. Why did he take nectar then if he wanted to be immortal? He wanted to be immortal, right? If he wanted to be mortal, if he wanted to die by Lord, then why did he take nectar then? And why did he spend his so many years to take that nectar? He got nectar in boon, right? After worshipping God. So then why did he put so many efforts? May I ask you? Please enlighten me.
He wanted to die from God.
He wanted to die.
Yes.
And why did he take nectar?
What?
He took nectar. In his navel there was nectar. That's why, because he wanted to be immortal. He didn't want to die. Then if a person wants to die, why would he take nectar? Only the person who wants to live forever, he takes nectar so that nobody can kill him.
I am not getting your point.
My point is that because he was immortal, do you know that? Because he couldn't die. because he had nectar in his navel, right? So on the one hand, you are saying that he wanted to be killed. If he wanted to be killed, then why did he take nectar? Why did he want to be immortal?
He wanted to kill by the god.
He wanted to be killed by the god.
Yes.
Then why? What is the reason behind that?
He want to get the salvation.
He wanted to get the salvation, right? So is it a good way to get salvation?
Yes, of course. If he had been killed by a god, then it is good.
So you mean to say that it was all scripted? It means whatever the war was there, if that Ravan was putting efforts, so he was putting those efforts to be killed.
Yes.
Okay. Then he
because
also
in his whole family got died.
In whole family got died. So if he wanted to just die, he wanted to be killed, then why the war was there? Was it like in the cricket match there is fixing, right? Like I would lose the match. In the cricket match, it happens in the cricket match, the fixing is there. So was that war already fixed, in which Ravan wanted to be killed? And if Ravan wanted to be killed, then why did why did Meghnath launch Lakshman Shakti on Lakshman? Because they wanted to be killed, right? They wanted to be killed. Then why did he launch Lakshman Shakti on Lakshman? And
Ravan,
after that,
Ravan was a powerful man,
right?
And I think he wanted to die by God, but he wanted to just show his power because he had the boon that he will not die.
So he wanted to show his power.
Yes.
No, before that Meghnath also went to fight,
Yes.
on which Meghnath did his best to kill Lakshman. So if a person wants to lose the war, why would he put so many efforts?
Because they just want to show their power.
Why would they show power if they want to lose?
Because
if I fight with you, if I want to lose, suppose I want to lose, then if I have determined to lose, then why would I show my power? I would just lose through an arrow. I am ready to die. But I am putting so many efforts to lose. It is contradictory.
They had just given many powers by the help of boons, and they will not die if they will not use their powers. Then it will be bad for them that they had not shown their powers.
Why are they wasting their powers then if they have to die? It is contradictory, not convincing.
They wanted to die from God, but they also wanted to show their powers towards God.
Are you not actually making the fabricated stories now? So where is it written? They wanted to show their powers.
That's why they were having a war.
They were having a war. But he abducted Mata Sita, right? That's why Lord Ram invaded. So whatever he did, it was to protect his wife. And if Ravan, right, he wanted to, he wanted to be killed, right? Why did he abduct Sita?
Because after only that, God will kill him.
After that, okay. So it was scripted, you mean to say, because Ravan wanted to be killed because he wanted to get salvation, right? That is called moksha. So that is why he wanted to be killed by Lord Ram, right? So it was all scripted, right? Whatever the war was happening, that was prefixed, right? Because he wanted to be killed. So in this case, can I say that? I mean, whatever Lord Ram did, it was not great, because when somebody has already surrendered, because suppose if I want to be killed, if I want to lose the match, then how would you get the credit of that? Because how can you boast or how can you be proud of that then? By murdering or after murdering somebody?
Because God was there to kill them.
Because God was there. So if somebody has already made up his mind to lose, then
but after that they were fighting and they were using all their powers.
That was the prefixed fighting in which one person had to be lost.
They were using all the powers which they had.
But now if the person, that was my question. Then if he wanted to lose, why was he showing all the powers then? Why was he showing all the powers? And if he was delivering his all the powers, then how can somebody trust that he wanted to lose?
In that Ramayana, the particular thing is that after Queen Sita was abducted, after that Ravan, Lord Ram, uh, went to save her. But
Yes.
in that particular time, what happened that Ravan didn't believe that he is God.
Ravan didn't believe.
Yes.
Okay.
Ravan didn't believe that he is
Then
God.
what made Ravan believe in that? How did Ravan know that then?
He just started doing war with him. But after that, he saw his power. That after our all the efforts, he is still there.
Okay.
After that, they got to know that he is God.
Okay, chalo. Fine, Isha, you tried your best to answer all the questions. That's all in this video. I was playing the role of an atheist, right? Because just I wanted to see your knowledge. Okay, that's good that you believe in God and you follow your Lord and you follow your East, right? And you are happy in worshipping, and you should continue with that. Fine. And the main point is that yeah, you should have knowledge, right? Because there can be argument or a debate anytime between you and an atheist, right? So I just wanted to see how would you answer an atheist, right? So you were trying your best from your side, so that was good to see. Okay, so that was it in this video, and I'm going to ask you certain many more questions, and just be ready to answer the questions, right? But in this video that's enough, and I'm going to give you a short break. Yeah, by the time, take care and bye now.